tuned for the next 30 minutes as we discuss how great our viewers are and bring you an effervescent spring full of Cabot topics. And now America's greatest cream pie, Greg Struss! Yay! Ho, 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 ho!
Chesh, hola, and all that stuff. Welcome to the Greg Struss Show, where you always see a smiley face and a helping hand. But enough about my cleaning lady already. I was going to say something else, but it was probably inappropriate, which is why one of the reasons why I probably should have done it. Scotty Joe Verga, all the way from Wisconsin. How you doing?
Whoa, shot please. Whoa! Okay, bye. Head back at you, Struss, man.
So before the show, Aunt Jean is here, by the way. Hello, darling. How are you doing?
Don't we call her a different name?
What's that? Aunt Jaja?
Hey, Jaja.
Will that be your television?
that'll be
Will
it.
that be your TV name? Aunt Jaja is
Aunt
here
Jaja
tonight.
Show Vegas.
So you're talking inappropriately, of course, before the show. And I was discussing sometimes men have issues with their, what would we call it, an underwear malfunction, right?
A drip. A soft serve.
It wasn't that, but where the apparatus is not, where the apparatus is not supported enough. Okay, so on this shot I got to step in, and on the next shot.
Okay, so soft serve. Come on. Give me with it. Come on. Let's talk about the SHIT.
No, that was Liberace's last situation. So anyway, the malfunction is when, you know, the let's just say the support isn't working and something starts, as Grandma Helen used to say, all of Jerusalem starts to show.
I basically can't bend over when I eat spaghetti 3 days in a row, or it comes out. I don't know what it is. It's like this. It's like.
Now, is that more of a pasta problem, or
No, it's like I'm like, what the hell happened down there?
What do they call that? When men start having issues with their what? Not their vas deferens.
Called their
but
late 40s.
No, but what is it? What is that organ?
Colon.
They call it the prostrate.
The spittoon.
So if your prostate was being affected by spaghetti, but pretending to be something other than a prostate, would that make it a prostate, a pasta straight? Pasta straight.
That one was a dod. That one was a dod.
Bad execution, as they say.
You know, I was told by our soundman I need to smile more. So this smile's for you.
Okay. So, Manischewitz, as Grandpa Clarence used to say. Now, Grandpa Clarence would be 100, and he would have been 106 years old this year, or 742, right, in dog years, or 48 shows later in the Greg Show series. That's how long it's been. Sinead O'Connor. Remember Sinead?
Yes.
She ripped up a picture of Pope John Paul II on Saturday Night Live.
She was married to Prince at one time.
What?
She was married to Prince.
Well, anyway, she went missing in Wilmette, of all places. So police reported this after her friend said she took a bike ride on a trail and never returned.
Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor. This was this week, but she evidently went for this ride after Arsenio Hall. She tweeted something about Arsenio Hall providing the drugs that Prince allegedly overdosed on.
Dear.
So he's suing her. Arsenio is suing her for defamation of character. But fortunately, Sinead was located. She was located, and everyone was relieved that they did not have to hear her perform.
You know, she wrote that song "Nothing Compares" because that's to Prince. Did you know that she was married to Prince? Nothing compares to you.
I never.
Is that a song like? To you? Is that how that works?
I don't know. There's only one thing that he ever has on his mind.
That's Euros.
And prostitutes, because they trade tricks for spaghetti dinners. Okay.
That's funny. That's a good choice of words.
Have you heard of have you heard of urban decay?
Yes, I've heard of urban decay.
But enough about street people's dental plan.
Or Kmart's that seem to leave the urban areas.
I don't know. It's something like that. So anyway, let's do a show, damn it. Tonight we have taboo topics, plenty of taboo topics. It's always nice to see you. And this is where we get close up. We get real. We talk about things that are happening in the news. Did you hear this? Happening? Okay? Because in the south side or the west side, we say happening. It's kind of like saying, no, you got to go. What are you doing over here? Get in your spot, damn it. We
I'm
got a
not
show
your
to do, damn
goddamn
it.
German Shepherd that you kick around.
I don't kick anybody around.
You never kicked him around.
I
But
know.
you kick me around enough. I am not a bitch.
So we're getting, that's what you think. Here's the deal. We end up going
Out of my
out
shot.
afterwards, okay?
Thank you.
Stay in your shot,
Give me
all
a
right?
shot, Bobby. Give me a shot.
So we end
Thank
up
you.
going out to eat at one of the fine cuisines. So the place I want to go to tonight, he's like, yeah, I don't think so. So I can't even have that tonight, all right? But that's what we do for friendship. That's what we do for love. And that's what we do
How about
on
a
the Greg Show.
mutual place where it's nobody's place?
Okay, we can figure that. All right, do it again so we saw the shot.
He saw it. They saw it.
Okay.
We first-
Anyway, I'm Greg, this is The Greg Show, and we are reinventing community television here from the west side of Chicago. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Yay! Ba-da-da-da-da.
What's been one highlight that you'll remember? All the days at Thornton, all the years that...
That's tough. This whole show's been a highlight for me. Coming here every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock and taping this wonderful
and some weeks at
facility
7:30.
here. Yeah,
some weeks at 7:30,
yeah,
right.
Some weeks not even showing up, but that's... oh, well. It's been great, you know? I can't...
And we are back. Welcome to the Greg Show, and this is Scotty Joe.
Hello, Bensonville.
Bensonville, Illinois. Hello. There we are. Okay, anyway, we did do the sale last week.
Go ahead, what?
We did do the sale last week on
Hi, old friend.
the YouTube Express.
Woo woo.
Look it up. Lots of shows, lots of taboo topics.
Just type in Greg Struss. Don't go to anything but Google. Google will get you the best package in town, my friend.
Yeah, we're pushing like YouTube, and it's really Google.
But it's really Google because like all the other ones are like Greg who.
Did
or
you see
Scott
that?
who.
Did you see this? It was like, I don't know. It's like flea and tick season starting again, right? So we were talking about your pasta straight because you were having an issue with the prostate due to pasta.
It only happens once in a while. You leave a little gravy in the chamber. Now, I use one-ply toilet paper at my house, and other people come by and like.
Now, hold on a minute. Is it more of a turkey gravy, a beef gravy, or a chicken gravy?
It's like a powdered meat. It's a powdered meat.
What's powdered meat? What is?
It's like meat, but it just sticks there. So
Can you use it like
I
wallpaper?
can't do
stuff?
mission trips because I use too much toilet paper. So I use one-ply toilet paper because Scott tissue is the best, 1,000 sheets.
But you can't use that in a mobile home, can
Yeah,
you?
you have to use Scott one-ply. Because the toilet's like now two-ply. When I was at the 55 window house or the 54 window house, I wiped myself with pleasure with Charmin double-ply. But I would clog the toilet a lot of times.
But
So-
one ply, the problem with one ply toilet paper, what I have found is that it's not enough. You can use like an entire roll for just
You
one.
have to fluff it. And then you got to go in. And then you know it's there. You're like, maybe I should go back. And then you go back and you do it again. And
So I asked a coworker this because she does nursing, and I said, "Do you prefer to wipe your patients forward or backwards?" She said, "You're sick." But when it comes to wiping, I can see why a woman would not be wiping forward.
You're never supposed
wipe-
to write towards a recreation area. That's what you're supposed to. That's the old joke. I'm serious. Don't die on me. I don't have any friends. Don't die. Okay.
Okay. I start to get this again, like last week. It was we weren't able to see that though.
But what I'm just saying is I can't. I like to wipe with one ply because of my. And when I go over to somebody's house, I clog their toilet because I grab the number 2 and I just wipe so much that I'm out of control.
I don't know. What is it with people I could never go to a bathroom like in public someplace, like the number 2. I gotta
that.
have comfort. Okay,
Yes.
gotta have comfort and joy, and
Yes.
not around Christmas time either. But it's or at church.
I can lay it out at Walmart. I got over that. I lay it out. I'm like and I always go to the back bathroom, not the front one, because it's usually more cleaner back there. Then I sneak into the family one every once in a while. I'm like, but then I really get it.
And then do you ever have that experience where you start to go to someone's home and then they don't have air freshener? And it's like, and it is like one of those bad deals.
What are you
afterwards.
spraying over the scent of terribleness? You're just going to make it worse. Now, where's the best place to go to the bathroom?
Where?
Let's call them in the mall, at the superstores. Okay, like your Marshall, well, they ain't Marshall Fields anymore. Yonkers, that kind of place. But a hidden gem is Kohl's. You have to walk all the way to the back, but it's kind of nice in there. Or Gordon's. That's a good place to take a dump.
There's an old saying that George Messing used to say when he wasn't talking about, I work at Coke, kid. He called everybody kid. Yeah, kid, I used to work at Coke. He said, look, if it smells like fish, it's probably a dish. If it smells like cologne, leave it alone.
My grandpa.
Now here's the deal. With that, I think it's the same thing that when you have to use the restroom at someone's home. I'm sorry that I don't know, you kind of brought the worst out of us, Aunt Jean.
Not really.
Aunt Jaja, all right.
Aunt
Was her
Jaja.
Aunt Jaja? Okay.
Aunt Jaja.
I don't know what that was.
Vegas.
It was okay.
Jaja Vegas.
Jaja Vegas is here tonight from Mosinee, Wisconsin. So
that's true.
And what a treat.
What a treat.
So here I am talking on the phone before, and I'm going to make my point, okay? Let me first make the point about
Then I got to tell you my joke about.
going to the washroom at someone's home is kind of like the cologne and the fish, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, you're right. You don't want to, but sometimes the smell can be just outrageous.
What did the blind man say when he walked by the fish market? This is my grandfather's joke. Hello, ladies.
Is that appropriate?
I think
it's
so.
like,
There's no more fish markets. They have so much cooch.
you haven't been out to Seattle, okay?
Right now, there's like yarn down there. They got so much
Oh
macrame
my
and body bath
goodness.
and body works.
All right.
Unless they're
So
just really
on
plain
that
dirty.
note, here I am. Beforehand, I'm having this conversation on the phone, and I was kind of rude, but I had to talk about something. And then I walk out in the studio, and Aunt Jean, a.k.a. Aunt
Oh, you got
Jaja's here.
Aunt Jaja. Just
Yeah,
Aunt
Aunt
Jaja.
Jaja was here. What a treat. So you came like a month ago and dropped off this beautiful king-size bed
From Jaja.
from Aunt Jaja, a.k.a. Aunt Jean.
Oh, Jaja.
And I love it. I have to like step up onto this thing.
It was only 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, maybe you've had it for a couple months. I don't know. It was kind of like Grandpa Clarence Struss and his,
Does he have a fish market?
no. He was married to my grandma. They both slept in separate rooms. Now, you don't think there was issues with that marriage? All right. And they only had one child, by the way. It was great.
Was that your dad?
Yeah. And he was the mistake. Now, you know what happened?
Were you a mistake?
No, he always told me, you were the only planned one, and look how you turned out. Okay. Anyway,
I was a mistake.
you were a mistake? See, what happened is, on the way to...
Aunt Jaja was a mistake.
Okay, on the way to the show one day, I ended up hitting a cow, and it was a mistake. All right.
Wow.
Thank
Cow
you.
make a lot of noise and call you all the time, or
Yeah, we got to switch gears here a little bit.
was it like when you penetrated? Was there room, or was it tight?
It wasn't that kind of thing.
Okay.
No cow tipping, please. I always say, please tip me, but don't tip me over. The Dan was asking about you, actually.
Oh.
So we post this stuff on YouTube, and people now comment, and it's fun. Nobody's ripped on us, too bad.
God. I'll go to their house.
But he's like, and Dan was a dear friend. We met like probably the summer of 8th grade. We used to go to Paysetter Pool. And I used to call him Dano at that time. He was quite a ladies' man, kind of, picking up on all the people that were living in Riverdale. And so he ended up working on the show. And he worked on the show for a long time, ended up directing the show, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, he kind of went his own way, and that was it. So I haven't seen Danny in like years. But he's been watching the shows, and he was asking what you were doing with your hand, Scott. What were you doing with your hand?
It looked like I was masturbating, but no, it's just my wonderful mic cord, that's all. I was doing this, but yeah. I had something to say.
What is it?
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
I got there's some really cool things I want to talk about. Kelly Ripa. I feel like I'm in honor of Regis. This is like a Regis tie.
Yeah.
Regis Philbin was like the man.
Still is.
He is the man, and he left daytime probably about 5 years ago. He
He stroked
retired.
my grandmother's face at the Horseshoe Casino with Geltman one night.
Yeah. So anyway, Kelly Ripa recently had an issue on the show. Michael Strahan was the host, and so behind closed doors they were doing deals. Okay, and let's face it, when somebody gets promoted, somebody else doesn't get promoted.
Amen.
And so people were talking about how she was being, how she was kind of being a diva, because it was announced. Now here's somebody that had an input on getting this guy the job, and it's not to say that he had to be beholden to her or beholden to anybody else. Mm-hmm. So the network wants him to go to GMA. All right, Good Morning America. Now the Kelly Show, Kelly and now what is the Kelly Live with Kelly, is a syndicated show. So it's on 10 of the ABC stations. The network owns 10, but it's their syndication arm, and they're all over the place. They're on CBS affiliates, et cetera, et cetera. So you figure this deal is probably about 3 months in the making, that Michael Strahan is going to move on to go to Good Morning America. Now, there's a thing, respect in the workplace, and this is what I got from this thing. So they told her exactly about 30 minutes or less before they announced it to the world that her television husband, that her television partner, was moving on from her show. She had no idea of what was going to be happening.
And what makes her different from us?
But this is what I think her point is that there's a thing called respect in the workplace. It's not to say that our bosses owe us an explanation on their decisions, but this one decision is something that ultimately affects her, affects the show, and affects all the people whose livelihood are on the show. So you know what
you reap what you sow. Look what happened to Regis.
He
bowed out gracefully.
He allegedly retired, but he was making too much money, and they said, Regis, you're now close to 80, and your demos are horrible, so bye-bye. We'll make a good one. So she evidently hasn't talked to Regis again, and that's her business. But what I have tremendous respect for is that she made a statement and decided, you know what, I'm not showing up for 4 days because I really have to think about this. Some people thought she was throwing a fit, and I think on a certain level, she deserved to know before the public that she was going to be losing her partner, whose ratings, he's very popular himself, and I don't know. I mean, some people will say, well, maybe it was a...
So why do you think Michael's going to Good Morning America? Because Georgie's going to go work for that fat lady from, what's that lady running for president? What's her name?
You think he's going to go work for Hillary?
Oh, absolutely, because that's a Clinton machine. They're all sucking each other off.
All right. But anyway, I think
Sorry, George.
that she made a statement, not only for women, right, but for respect in the workplace. Now, it may have been, some people are kind of thinking that, well, maybe her contract is coming up, et cetera, et cetera. But I really think that she deserved to be told before the public.
I do too.
Do you? Okay. Now, it's not to say, ABC, you owe me this, but it's like, here's a long-term employee, 25 years, and ends up not...
Let me tell you a story really quick. George Hallis and Babe Ruth. George Hallis used to play right field for the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to play right fielder anymore or something like that, and they threw this guy named Babe Ruth. And what happened to George Hallis?
What happened to him? He went on to the Hall of Fame?
He went on to the Hall of Fame with football.
So he was a
there you
baseball
go.
player at one
Yes.
time? I did not
Babe
know
Ruth
that.
replaced him.
Do we know what our...
I sure hope that's right.
Are we free-forming it tonight? Because I have no idea where we're at in this
My balls
thing.
are out in the alley right now.
Where's our time? I don't know where our time is. Are we? He's like, whatever, just keep going.
Let's go to break. Go to break.
Can we go to break?
We'll go to break.
Oh, we can take. Okay, so
Okay.
let's. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about this because I think when these things are in the entertainment news, it's no different than you and I. Whatever position that we play, wherever we work, it's always, yes, there are changes coming down the pipeline, so to speak, and whether someone makes $15 million a year or is a grunt somewhere, I still think that we deserve to kind of all be on the same team.
This is not 30 years ago. We live in an iPhone society where we are instant news, instant everything. Everything happens in instant. Live by it, die by it. There you go, America. Suck on it.
All right. And on that note, we'll be back with Taboo Topics after this. I feel like with this haircut, I feel like I look like an overweight Ken doll. Hi.
Bob's
Hi,
big boy
Barbie.
hair.
Are you doing all right? Do you ever watch these local shows where everybody's always smiling? It's like, and I really hate my kid, but I'm getting paid for it. All right. Anyway, The Greg Show is on YouTube. All right, we are back with Scotty Joe Vegas. How you doing?
Privately excited.
Okay. Talking a little bit more about Kelly Ripa on the Live with Kelly show. Now, I would love for one day to be able to host that show with her. I just have envisioned this in my mind that, and now here's Kelly Ripa and guest host, Greg Struss, and then they walk out, they're giving Kelly the big, standing O. Mm-hmm. And for one day, I think that would be fascinating. That would be like a culmination of a lifetime of working and, doing something and being on that big stage for one day. I'm not asking for the gig permanently. Now, would I love that gig? Absolutely.
I couldn't get up that early.
I do right now.
I had to do voiceovers like, and now Michael Strahan back after these moments.
Yeah, so I think about that, and then I always remember about what Sammy Davis Jr. said on Johnny Carson one time back many years ago. He's like, when you turn 50, babe, your face all of a sudden it just starts to sink. And he was like, and I love you for that. But after that, he made the point of there's some guy, because what Johnny was saying to him, he's like, you are still kicking it. You are doing better than ever. He says, babe, there's a guy sitting in a garage somewhere
Can outdance me anything.
that can outdance me, outsmoke me, outperform me, and he hasn't been discovered yet.
Thank you.
Okay? And then I think about, all right, could I do that gig? Absolutely, I could do that gig. I would love to work with someone like her. I think that would be
for
great.
reaction?
Yeah, I am.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for some validation here. All right, let me be Regis. Come on, I'm looking for some validation.
I think you would be great at it. But if she's the boss,
Yeah.
you would be her,
Her support person.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But
Ed McMahon, people say that he had no talent. I think Ed McMahon knew his place. He could do it all. He could have hosted that show.
well, I'll tell you about Ed McMahon. I bet you he had a very large bone.
What is this guy?
I
Bone.
heard this all day long.
Did you?
Bone.
All right.
Bone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bone.
I feel like I'm in high school again. Anyway.
I am in high school again. I failed.
So anyway, respect in the workplace. Also, when it comes to recovery, why is self-respect very important? Why?
To manipulate the person.
No,
What?
self-respect is very important because I have a sense of purpose and who I am, right? And if I don't have a sense of purpose and respect for myself, how can I have respect for someone else?
So you mean when my dad was on the toilet, he'd take that one-ply toilet paper and say, "You ain't shit," and throw it in the trash? Is that what you're trying to say inside my brain, Mr. Peacemaker? You're full of shit. You're a fraud! Go ahead. of course, I'm just kidding.
So I'm asking Aunt Jaja today, before the show, I didn't get to answer because you're
You want to get the full one, Aunt Jaja's going to get a little...
Because you're admitting to me, you haven't admitted that he's had to wipe for his dad yet. And he says, no, I haven't been called on that duty yet. So, I don't know. We've talked about some different things. I don't know if we've had any kind of a point tonight. See, I'm talking off camera, and I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to everybody else. So anyway, we talk about, with self-respect, gaining a sense of accountability and personal responsibility and how those play in. So you expect me to show up every day, I make you hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and you disrespect me. So if I don't stand up and say, you know what, you've kind of humiliated me in public, I have to make a statement myself for where I'm at and how I feel and how this affects me. Doesn't matter the price tag that somebody's paid. There is no price on self-respect. What do you think?
Who has more power, George or Kelly? I'd say George.
George?
Stephanopoulos.
Probably because of his connections.
Thank you.
I would think so, but I don't see him.
Media.
I don't
It's the
see him.
media.
I don't think Hillary's going to win. By the way,
I didn't say she was going to win. I was just going to say that ABC supports that party.
I don't.
Very
heavily. This is the other part of this. I think that just because, and he got into trouble because he supposedly donated $75,000 to a political party and didn't disclose it. Now, as a journalist, where's the separation of that personal time and the profession? I don't think he owes the public who he supports because he's paid to deliver the news. Oh, but it has a liberal bias because he was, it'd be interesting to see how many of these Fox contributors and hosts are really, not conservative, but liberal in their politics.
What is conservative?
Conservative, fiscally conservative, and more with the Constitution.
Constitution, and they're only going to bang women, right?
Right.
Okay.
But not bang them, marry them, and have children, and procreate, and not have...
not even a little finger bang.
Not have birth control and abortion and things like that, okay?
I mean, I'm conservative in the bedroom. I'm like, now make sure you get a wash rag.
All right, so here's the other thing I want to talk about. Scott ends up reaching out to his former wife, his first wife.
First Super Bowl.
Okay, she's an incredible lady, an incredible woman. Things did not work out, and she was going to come on the show. And I personally think she chickened out, and she was right to back out, I think, because maybe it would be too much to kind of talk
right.
on the show and
she'll be
not
here.
have seen you. I'm sure she will be here down the line.
I think she should actually be the co-host that night, and I'll sit in the audience.
So all of a sudden, they're tweeting and twittering and...
Not tweeting,
whatever. It's
simple,
texting.
private messages.
And your now woman in your life apprehends your phone and starts reading this stuff.
Did not apprehend my phone. It rang, she picked it up, and she just read a message or two.
I just think that's private.
I asked her to get my phone. It's no big deal.
Yeah, get my phone, honey. Oh, see, I got something out here, too.
I got nothing
What do you have on your mind, by the way, young man?
With what? With what?
Are you, trying to, rub it in her face, saying, look?
No.
Is she worried?
I have to get the message that she was there on the reading that I was a fortune teller. She was there. I don't have exactly the opening story. I got the middle story. I got the end. We were friends. We should have never gotten married. That was it.
Okay.
No law of the jungles. Nobody sitting there going, Mamma Mia, Mazzaria. You know what I'm saying? That was for Kenny Leona.
So do you think that
Lena.
he's there? He's paying
Is it
attention
Lena
to what's
or
going
Leno?
on. It's Lena.
Lena?
Yes.
Uncle Leno is in the business. Sorry,
Uncle
but
Leno. So anyway, Scott ends up talking with his ex, and then I used to like to call my brother-in-law. And then my sister always apprehended the phone.
We apologize to each other for being a mess at that age. Okay.
You're not I don't know. When
we were a mess at that. We were kids. We shouldn't have got married. Do you not understand?